Holy frickin' cow. It's fair to assume right now that the love affair is definitely over between these two. As they're no longer dancing with each other, as Elon Musk has just accused Donald J. Trump of being a part of the Epstein client list, and the reason why we still haven't seen those files. Yes, you heard that correctly. We just have seen one of the biggest political breakups of our time and the biggest bombshell in an extremely long time. And this is going to be with us for a while, as of course there's a very important conversation to be had here, a very nuanced one, since this is not the first time that Elon actually accused someone of being a child lover that later he had to apologize for. Will Elon be apologizing for this? As it looks like a lot of contracts now from Elon will be getting cut here. What's going to be the escalation of this? Well, it's going to be severe. It's going to be vast, and there's a lot to get into. So if you appreciate our honest and earnest conversations about this, not blurring the political lines here, not just blindly following political affiliation, but caring about the truth, subscribe and click the notification button. As Elon Musk just a few minutes ago said, time to drop the real bomb. This is after all day long there was a tit for tat fight and conflict between him and Donald Trump that has started over, in my opinion, what has been kind of escalated by Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, over the big and beautiful bill that Donald Trump wants to pass that also affects Elon, that Elon now has publicly made a public stance against. And the two have been going back and forth. We'll tell you about those interactions in a little bit. As Elon Musk says, Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Adding a second comment here saying, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. Holy cow. Automatically, my first question was, do we know how he was involved? Why did you know this? Obviously, this is a political kind of back and forth spat that has been building up and brewing between the two. We have seen all day the kind of personal back and forth between these people. And Donald Trump, just before getting accused by Elon Musk of being on the Epstein client list, said this about Elon, which of course raised the temperature in the room and created this escalation where we are at right now.
Remember, he was here for a long time. You saw a man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval Desk, and even with the black eye, I said, do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup. But he said, no, I don't think so, which is interesting.
Trump's kind of hinting at here how Elon was potentially trying to orchestrate a situation where he looked like the victim. It looked like there was some kind of weird scenario, especially with that kind of black eye here. As of course, a lot of people point to ritualistic secret societies that punch people in the eye that potentially was related to this. But Donald Trump mentioning this in kind of a conspiracy way, like, hey, this is kind of weird. That he didn't want to cover it up, that he wants to show it to everybody, essentially hinting at that Elon is playing the victim here.
And very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we will anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best things.
He did. There was a big bromance, as there was a lot of mainstream media hit pieces trying to bring these people apart from each other. There was a lot of kind of weird headlines during the election, in the midst of the election, after the election, saying, oh, no, they hate each other, they're fighting. They came out, did an interview together, praising each other, respecting each other, saying the nicest things about each other. And now it looks like that they are essentially mortal enemies, as Donald Trump also announced that Elon is crazy. We'll show you those tweets here in a little bit as well. But let's continue on with this comment that escalated this situation. And then, of course, I want to talk about Elon Musk's accusation here. And I'm going to make an argument talking about how it's illegitimate. And then I'm going to make an argument talking about how it's pretty legitimate in some instances here that do make sense with all the circumstantial stuff that has been happening around the Epstein saga that has been super sketch and weird. We're going to make argument, and then we're going to let you decide who is in the right here. It's, again, fascinating stuff, but let's finish off with these comments.
He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything, and I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is. And again, biggest tax cuts in history, biggest economic development moves anywhere. We've never done anything like it.
And again, this is all over Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, the big, beautiful bill, which a lot of people have criticized as, of course, we are finding out that it does increase the debt. There's a lot of weird things there regarding artificial intelligence. MTG came out with a big post on Twitter saying, I can't vote for this type of spying, tracking AI type of systems, as right now it looks like this bill was essentially defeated by a lot of people criticizing it. Now, Donald Trump is still trying to pass this bill. Now, there's other people saying that now that in this bill, there's a tax credit. Elon is going to lose a significant tax credit for electric vehicles in the car, and allegedly that was one of the reasons why this spat was created. There was also another thing that happened with the appointee for the head of NASA that was really close to Elon that Donald Trump just decided to, of course, not work with. There's also scuttlebutt and inside the White House rumors coming out that Elon wanted to do more with Doge, but he was prevented from doing that, and it just seems like an outright mess. Now, before continuing on and talking about if Elon's speculations are true or if they're not true, we wanted to tell you about wearechange.shop. We got a lot of great products available for you guys, and one of my favorites is our first one, and that, of course, is Ashwagandha. It is our chill pill, and it is very powerful stuff. It boosts your testosterone, promotes healthy hormone levels, supports optimal energy levels, elevates your mood, and if you're a male, it's good for you. I know one of my female friends, she was like, my doctor just prescribed me some ashwagandha. Why? Because I'm going through a lot of stress. I have a lot of cortisol. Ashwagandha lowers your cortisol. You don't want to lower it with supplementation too much. There's some people that just shouldn't be taking ashwagandha. Make sure you're not that person by doing your own homework, your own due diligence, your own research, and if you want to speak to a medical professional, decide to do that. But I always recommend, hey, if you're going to take any supplement, make sure you're taking the right one for yourself. This is very powerful stuff, and it has helped me start my own individual health journey, and it's one of the products that, of course, I really, really liked, because during key times of stress and panic and disorder and just insanity in my life, I'm like, I'm going to take 1 month out of the year, and out of this month, I'm going to take ashwagandha, and I'm locked in. I am always hitting the gym. I'm always ready to go. I was able to boost my testosterone score up 200 points, but that also involved working out, sprinting, good diet, good sleep. Okay? You can't just, I'm going to take a magic pill, everything's going to be fine. No! It starts with you making the proper right decisions for yourself. Supplementation has helped me do that. I think it can help you do that. That's why we created our own line of supplements. wearechange.shop. Get some ashwagandha, take some chill pills, especially during some very crazy, stressful times like we're dealing with right now. Because these are big times that we're dealing with here. And now let's make this argument here, because Elon is definitely not holding anything back. We have Kanye coming out saying, bros, please no, we love you both so much. As of course, this has created a MAGA civil war. As what led up to this, what built up to this was a number of circumstances, a number of events. But again, we just see tit for tat retaliation. Again, we are going to see this, I think, escalate that much further. I want to read off some of the statements from Donald Trump, who talked about ending all of Elon's contracts with the government. But as Mike Cernovich here pointed out, you can't have two bulls in one pasture. Yep. Owen Schroyer had an interesting take on all of this, saying Elon Musk just embarrassed the entire Republican leadership supporting the big, beautiful bill, using their own words against them. This is undeniably and objectively true. Lines have been drawn and crossed today. Yep. Angela McArdle says, hey, Elon, you want to take over the Libertarian Party? As Elon Musk specifically talked about creating a new political party in response to all this. Earlier today, we also found out how Elon Musk unfollowed Charlie Kirk and Stephen Miller. after they held the conversation together, allegedly, according to the sources here. Now, Elon has been on a tweet storm lately, and he has been going against the big, beautiful bill. He also tweeted out a video talking about how eliminating EV incentives would actually improve Tesla's competitive advantage. This time, he doesn't seem too happy about it now. Michael Tracy had a good comment here saying, at this rate, Musk might receive a one-way ticket to El Salvador. And let's just be real with ourselves. This is what Donald Trump said on Truth Social earlier today, saying the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's government subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Yeah, yikes. Now, Elon has a lot of government contracts, okay? Elon's money, a lot of it comes from government contracts. It comes from, if you look at Tesla, one of the main ways that they make their money, it's through these kind of green initiatives. Carbon trading is how they make a lot of their money in their software. Now, they're able to get the federal government and other electric vehicles too, which now this big, beautiful bill will be ending, to subsidize some of the costs that they're able to, of course, save the consumer and save themselves. That $7,000, $8,000 is a lot of money for a lot of people, especially in today's economy. Donald Trump went on a few minutes ago and said Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy. Now, some people are saying, hey, it is type of crazy. As of course, Elon Musk responded to this by essentially daring Donald Trump to end his government contracts. Elon Musk says, this just gets better and better. Go ahead, make my day, ... Responding to this, as people were saying, hey, this is going to end the International Space Station and provide no way to safely deorbit it. Specifically talking about the contracts being ended here. Now, again, these two aren't dancing. There's no love affair here, as again, Musk has also called Donald Trump a liar, responding to this tweet here, saying that he was wearing thin, that he informed him. Elon responded to this, quote, such an obvious lie. So sad. And this is all leading up. This is all leading up to Elon just dropping this bombshell. This is MTG saying, I read it worse than that. I am not voting for the development of Skynet and the rise of machines by destroying federalism for 10 years by taking away states' rights to regulate and make laws on all AI. This is what the Big Beautiful Bill does. The Big Beautiful Bill has a provision in it that bans state and local governments from regulating AI. And it's one of the things that a lot of people are having big opposition to. But we have interesting commentary about whether or not Trump is on the list. And again, there's arguments to make on both sides because Elon's statements are very big here and very implicative, as there's also reports of Tesla stocks dropping. You could probably expect if all the government contracts are ended, that a lot of other stocks are going to be ending as well here. But if you remember, let's make the argument here, because there's some people that are saying there's no doubt in my mind that Trump is on that Epstein list. We have Nicholas F. You know who he is. You got him here in the picture. YouTube just hates when you mention him, and they just downrank everything, making him more infamous for some reason. But he just tweeted out this video saying there's no doubt. And then, of course, we have Will Chamberlain, who's usually at odds with Nick, saying not the first time Elon basically claimed someone was a child herder. As, of course, he points out this Time magazine piece here, where the Tesla CEO had to apologize for making an unfound claim last week that one of the divers who was rescuing children in the Thai soccer team that was in a flooded cave, that he was an alleged child herder. In a series of tweets Tuesday, the tech billionaire said his comments calling British caviar Varn Osworth hurting children guy was spoken in anger, Musk wrote. As of course there was a lawsuit, he was sued, he then had to publicly apologize. Now, let's make the argument, before playing Nick's videos and making that argument, let's make the argument that Trump is just being accused here wrongly. Okay, let's make that argument. We'll entertain both arguments. Both arguments are important to entertain during this key moment and time here because, again, there's a lot at stake here. I asked you guys, hey, do you think Donald Trump's really on that list? It's like 50-50 almost as everyone's response to this. This is perfect response to what's going on right now. What in the world's going on here? This is what? How? What? It's crazy. Now, make the benefit of the doubt for Donald Trump. Donald Trump, according to a lawyer for some of the victims, was a person that actually came forward, provided evidence and information against Epstein. Donald Trump Jr. told me personally, and Josie the Redhead Libertarian, when we were on Timcast, we asked him about this. We had a conversation with him about this, and he says Donald Trump kicked out Epstein from Mar-a-Lago because Epstein was trying to hurt small children, and therefore Donald Trump said that's not okay, and then he kicked him out. All right? You can make an argument. Elon is emotional. He's about to get all of his companies wrecked, all of his contracts cut, and he's about to deal with major financial issues and problems. And he came out in an emotional statement like he did against that kind of British diver, and this is kind of a similar moment. That's the three pieces of information that I think are worth considering when it comes to this. Now, let's talk about the other side here, as there's a compelling argument for the other side here. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. This is what Nick had to say, and this is the clip that he played.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
Less so. So far, he hasn't. All right. And this has been promised by a lot of the key members of his cabinet during his campaign. But, okay, we're talking about all these other files, but this one's less so because there's, quote, fake news in there. It's like he's already setting the groundwork. It's like he already knows. Another argument that the people who are pro-Trump are making right now are saying the left, the deep state, the FBI would have released this information and tried to bury Trump if this information was true. Correct. That's a good point. Counterpoint to that is, what if Donald Trump actually is in that list and there are some bigger players, the CIA, that are holding it above his head and directing him to lock people down, bomb Syria, like he did, give everyone $2,000 checks and commit a lot of unpopular policies that he sometimes commits. That's also the possibility that we should entertain here. Now, the fact that we haven't gotten the list, the fact that we were teased the list, the fact that there was a whole PR kerfuffle with Pam Bondi and the folders that teased us. That was like, yeah. And all that was in that binder was stuff that was already released before, but it was just more classified. Yeah, look at that. It's on our desk. It's going to be released anytime soon. And now there's this weird hostage video from the FBI director, the deputy FBI director, as if they were told, and this is what I'm saying, and this is what I alluded to in my Epstein videos related to this. I'm saying, listen, these guys could be obfuscating this because they are, right? They're trying to start up a conversation about whether or not Epstein took his own life or not. That doesn't matter, all right? There's a lot of clients out there. Unless they're getting orders from the top, right? They should be releasing this stuff because there's still predators on that list that are hurting small children. Now, is Donald Trump saying that there's fake news in there? Why would he be saying that? Why would he be kind of protecting that? He also sent out a weird tweet wishing Ghislaine Maxwell well. The cover-up of Epstein's death happened under his administration, where his own government officials were going to Epstein saying, give us dirt on Donald Trump. Maybe Epstein did give them dirt on Donald Trump. This is according to Epstein's cellmate, who came out and said, Epstein told me that the DOJ, Trump's DOJ, told me to give them information about Donald Trump. Maybe Epstein did. Maybe they have it. Maybe it's in this document. Maybe that's why we haven't seen it. That's why Kash Patel was said, listen, you got to fall on the knife here. Dan Bongino, you got to fall on the knife here. It's either you're with us or you're not. Trump doesn't want this released. Change the conversation. And they could be like, okay, now let's talk about if he really did take his life. That's a whole distraction, right? We still haven't gotten the list. We keep being told, oh, it's the victim, it's the victim, it's the victim. How many months does it take to redact a lot of this stuff? The fact that we still haven't gotten these documents. Now, which side do you believe? Because there's the side that I just argued for Donald Trump. There's a side against Donald Trump. Which one do you believe? Let me know. If you believe Elon Musk, press 1 in the comments. If you believe Donald Trump is innocent here, press 2. More importantly, though, the conclusion that I think we should all come to right now immediately is that we should release the documents automatically. Listen, Donald Trump has a major accusation. Prove it wrong. Release all the documents right now. Use AI, block out all the victims. Obviously, don't release the tapes with the children in it. But get rid of all the documents. Get it all out. Like, look, this is all we got. Boom. You, the American people, judge for yourself. Why can't we do that? Thousands of children were hurt here. That's what needs to happen. And if you agree, share this video with your friends and family members. Get it out there. Insane news. This is only going to get crazier, guys. Stay tuned for more videos here on youtube.com/wearechange. Get yourself some Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha! Maximum testosterone booster! In a crazy world where some would argue we have a little bit too much ego and testosterone. Maybe. Love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.